Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. Since it's Friday, I have another joke for you. So here it is. Why did the picture go to prison? Why did the picture go to prison? Give you a little time to think about it before I give you my answer. All right. The picture went to prison because it was framed. Alright, that was our joke for today. If you have a joke that you would like to share with me, please put in the comments below. And today we are going to go ahead and get started with chapter 20, which is on page 133. So go ahead and turn to page 133. And we will go ahead and get started. When I told Gloria Dump about Otis and how he got arrested, she laughed so hard she had to grab hold of her false teeth so they wouldn't fall out of her mouth. "Woo-wee," she said when she was finally done laughing. "That sure is some dangerous criminal." "He's a lonely man," I told her. "He just wants to play his music for somebody." Gloria wiped her eyes with the hem of her dress. "I know it, sugar," she said. "But sometimes things are so sad they get to be funny." "You know what else?" I said, still thinking about sad things. "That girl I told you about, the pinch-faced one, Amanda, well, her brother drowned last year. He was only 5 years old, the same age as Sweetie Pie Thomas." Gloria stopped smiling. She nodded her head. "I remember hearing about that," she said. "I remember hearing about a little drowned boy." "That's why Amanda is so pinch-faced," I said. "She misses her brother." "Most likely," Gloria agreed. "Do you think everybody misses somebody? Like I miss my mama?" "Mm-hmm," said Gloria. She closed her eyes. "I believe, sometimes, that the whole world has an aching heart." I couldn't stand to think about sad things that couldn't be helped anymore. So I said, "Do you want to hear some more Gone with the Wind?" "Yes, indeed," Gloria said. "I've been looking forward to it all day. Let's see what Miss Scarlet is up to now." I opened up Gone with the Wind and started to read. But the whole time I was thinking about Otis, worrying about him not being allowed to play his guitar for people. In the book, Scarlet was looking forward to going to a big barbecue where there was going to be music and food. That's how I got the idea. "That's what we need to do," I said. I slammed the book shut. Winn-Dixie's head shot up from underneath Gloria's chair. He looked around all nervous-like. "Huh?" said Gloria Dump. "Have a party," I told her. "We need to have a party and invite Miss Franny Block and the preacher and Otis can play his guitar for everybody. Sweetie Pie can come too. She listens to his music good." "We who?" Gloria asked. "We, me, and you. We can make some food and have the party right here in your yard." Said Gloria Dump. "We could make peanut butter sandwiches and cut them up in triangles to make them look fancy." "Lord," said Gloria Dump, "I don't know if the whole world likes peanut butter as much as you and me and this dog." "Okay then," I said. "We could make egg salad sandwiches. Adults like those." "You know how to make egg salad?" "No, ma'am," I said. "I don't have a mama around to teach me things like that. But I bet you know. I bet you could teach me. Please?" "Maybe," said Gloria Dump. She put her hand on Winn-Dixie's head. She smiled at me. I knew she was telling me yes. "Thank you," I said. I went over and hugged her. I squeezed her hard. Winn-Dixie wagged his tail and tried to get in between the two of us. He couldn't stand being left out of anything. It's going to be the best party ever, I told Gloria. You gotta make me one promise, though, Gloria said. All right, I told her. You have to invite the Dewberry Boys. Dunlap and Stevie? Ain't gonna be no party unless you invite them. I have to? Yes, said Gloria Dump. You promise me. I promise, I said. I didn't like the idea, but I promised. I started inviting people right away. I asked the preacher first. Daddy, I said. Opal, the preacher said back. Daddy, me and Winn-Dixie and Gloria Dump are having a party. Oh, said the preacher, that's nice. You have a good time. Daddy, I said, I'm telling you because you're invited. Oh, said the preacher. He rubbed his nose. I see. Can you come? I asked him. He sighed. I don't see why not, he said. Miss Franny Block took to the idea right away. A party, she said, and clapped her hands together. Yes, ma'am, I told her. It will be kind of like the barbecue at 12 Oaks and Gone with the Wind. Only it's not going to be as many people, and we're going to serve egg salad sandwiches instead of barbecue. That sounds lovely, Miss Franny said. And then she pointed at the back of the library and whispered, Maybe you should ask Amanda, too. She probably won't want to come, I said. She doesn't like me very much. Ask her and see what she says, Miss Franny whispered. So I walked to the back of the library and I asked Amanda Wilkinson in my best manners voice to please come to my party. She looked around all nervous and stuff. A party, she said. Yes, I said. I sure would like it if you could come. She stared at me with her mouth open. Okay, she said after a minute. Yes, thank you. I would love to. And just like I promised Gloria, I asked the Dewberry Boys. I ain't going to no party at a witch's house, Stevie said. Dunlap knocked Stevie with his elbow. We'll come, he said. We will not, said Stevie. That witch might cook us up in her big old witch's pot. I don't care if you come or not, I told them. I'm just asking because I promised I would. We'll be there, said Dunlap, and he nodded at me and smiled. Sweetie Pie was very excited when I invited her. What's the theme? She asked. Well, there isn't one, I said. You got to think of a theme, she told me. She stuck her knuckle in her mouth and then pulled it back out. It ain't a party without a theme. Is this dog coming? She asked. She wrapped her arms around Winn-Dixie and squeezed him so hard that his eyes almost popped out of his head. Yes, I told her. Good, she said. You can make that the theme. It could be a dog party. I'll think about it, I told her. The last person I asked was Otis. I told him all about the party and that he was invited, and he said, No, thank you. Why not? I asked. I don't like parties, said Otis. Please, I begged. It won't be a party unless you come. I'll give you a whole free week of sweeping and arranging and dusting. If you come to the party, that's what I'll do. A whole week for free? Otis said, looking up at me. Yes, sir, I told him. But I don't have to talk to people, right? No, sir, I said. You don't. But bring your guitar. Maybe you could play us some music. Maybe, said Otis. He looked down at his boots again real quick, trying to hide a smile. Thank you, I told him. Thank you for deciding to come. All right, and that's the end of chapter 20. So it looks like Opal is getting ready for a party, and she's invited all of her friends. So next week we'll focus on that party and see what happens during that time. In the meantime, meantime, what we are going to do is quickly go over a few questions that I have about the chapter, just something for you to think about. All right? So the first question is, why does Gloria want Opal to invite the boys? All right? The Dewberry boys. All right? So there's Dunlap and Stevie, and we both know that they haven't been the nicest of people to Opal. But why do you think Gloria wants Opal to invite the boys to her party? All right? Now remember, this isn't the first time she's been asked to be nice to the boys. Franny has also asked her, and remember her father said that she needed to apologize to them. So think about it. Why does Gloria want Opal to invite the boys? Give you a little bit of time to think about it. Alright, one reason is because maybe Gloria wants to have Opal practice being kind to them. Alright, she's been making a lot of new friends, and it's easy to be kind to those who are unkind to her back. But maybe Gloria wants her to be kind to those it might be a little more difficult to be kind to. Alright, because we all know that it's harder to be nice to someone when they're mean to us. But Gloria tells her to invite the boys. But if you noticed, Stevie did not want to go to the party because he was still calling Gloria a witch. But Dunlap was all about it and said, "We'll come." Alright, so we noticed that Dunlap is a little nicer than Stevie. And it looks like he kind of wants to be friends with Opal more than Stevie does. Alright, here is my next question. Do you think Opal would have had a party at the beginning of the story, and why or why not? So do you think Opal would have had this party, would she have planned it at the beginning of the story, and why or why not? Alright, I will tell you my answer to this question, but your answer could be the same or different to mine, alright? Because it's just your opinion. I personally think that Opal would not have had a party like this at the beginning of the story because she did not have the friends that she has now. So we notice between chapter 1 and chapter 20, Opal has made a lot of new friends and has been able to make more plans and actually have an agenda for her day because of the friends that she has made. So if she had the party before, she wouldn't have really been able to invite anyone except for her dad and Winn-Dixie. But now she's able to have Otis, Franny, Amanda, Gloria, the Dewberry boys, and Sweetie Pie. So now she has 7 more people that she can invite to this party than she could have at the beginning of the chapter. Alright, one more thing I want to go over with you are the questions for chapters 16 through 20, which are due today. Alright, make sure when you answer these questions, you answer them in complete sentences and you have page numbers. Alright, the last 2 questions go with today's chapter. So, question 7, why does Gloria Dump make Opal invite Stevie and Dunlap Dewberry and Amanda Wilkinson to the party? Alright, go back in your text. We also talked about it a little bit with the Dewberry boys. And then number 8, how does Opal persuade Otis to come to the party? Alright, so she promised him something in return of him coming to the party. So see if you can remember what that was. Also, last thing, remember that your litmus lozenge project is due today. There were 4 options and you only had to do 1. That would be found on Tuesday's post. I think that was when we read chapter 17, but it also says litmus lozenge project at the top. You can either write a paragraph, create a poster, write a jingle, which is like a fun song that people remember, or a commercial, alright? And again, I've already gotten some awesome posters and jingles and commercials, so I want you guys to keep it up. You guys are doing awesome. But just a reminder that those are due today. And I also encourage you to make them as creative and put yourself in those projects because it's so fun when you guys are able to take your own personalities and your own talents and your own creative ideas and throw it into your projects. If you have any questions, feel free to message me or Mrs. Pergram. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy your weekend.